Hello again, Struck Quub. This week I will continue with the content dedicated to Tiny Tina's Wonderlands ahead of launch. Things that I think people should know. Today we will be talking about the character creation, classes, multi-classes and so on. I will make this video and then I will also make one video for each class you might want to check. So the thing about the character creation is it doesn't let you just tailor your playstyle. It also lets you tailor the look, the visuals of your class. You start off by choosing the class that you will be playing as your starting role, starting main hero abilities and stuff like that. And then after that you would choose a second class eventually as a subclass. But the first class, the main class, will be your base playstyle and skills, the primary class maybe we should call it, and it is the sole aspect of your character that you can't change later, though you can always reroll on your character obviously, so keep that in mind. Main classes you cannot change, subclasses maybe. I'm gonna check about that, but they're saying that you cannot change the main class. They're not saying that you cannot change the subclass. So after that you pick your nose, face, hair, accessories and more. And your Fatemaker's appearance has no impact on your build. Taller characters aren't stronger and asymmetrical eyes have no bearing on your ability to shoot straight. But what the many aesthetic options do give you is that hard to replace, impossible to quantify je ne sais quoi that makes your Fatemaker stand out from the crowd. Everything from individual eyes and ears to facial hair and eyelashes can be adjusted to suit your style along with facial tattoos and makeup. And this here is a big moment as a Borderlands player. This is a big moment for me because in Borderlands 1, 2, 3 and the other one we did not have character customization apart from costumes and cosmetics for different classes, but they were class walked and they look different on each class, whereas here you would have general things that are cross class, and you have that character customization. You're not playing a pre-made hero with their specific looks, height and so on. You have typical RPG character creation, and I really like that. So if you really want to push the limits, you can engage the slider overdrive option, disabling the limitation placed by nature to get extra chaotic. This effectively makes the sliders that determine the size, position and angle of certain physical features more exaggerated, so that you're no longer constrained by realism. If you want to go wild when creating your character, slide overdrive will be your best friend. And this is another good feature in my opinion. Then another essential choice when creating your Fatemaker is their personality. Think of this as the general attitude with which you approach adventures, and you want your Fatemaker to quip during dialogue and battle alike, be they gallant, clever, gruff or strange. So each personality has two voice options to choose from, and you can adjust their pitch to suit your preferences. The possibilities are plentiful to say the least, and that's before you've even given a thought to which armor pattern and colors you'd like to use. As you play, you continue to unlock new looks to try, as customizations can drop as wood. If you want some additional starting armor options at your disposal, when Tiny Tina's Wonderlands launches on March 25th, the developers are letting us snag the Golden Hero Armor Pack pre-order bonus and the Town Crier Pack. And on top of that, there is another thing that is called loyalty rewards for people who have played Tiny Tina's Wonderlands and Borderlands, which would let you get a Tiny Tina pistol, TNTina actually, the TNTina pistol in Borderlands 3, and it would also let you get in Wonderlands the Hunter of Votes banner, which I'm not sure where it goes, but it does go somewhere. And just like in a typical Dungeons and Dragons game, you have basic attributes. In Tiny Tina's Wonderlands there are 6 basic attributes you can influence during character creation, listed below. I'm gonna list them in a moment, along with their gameplay effects. Strength gives you critical hit damage. Dexterity gives you base critical hit chance. Intelligence gives you spell cooldown rate. Wisdom gives you status effect damage. Constitution gives you maximum HP and worth. And attunement gives you action skill cooldown rate. And keep in mind, you will be able to respect those. More about that in a moment. So, it is time also to choose a dramatic backstory of your Fatemaker. Were they raised by elves, or perhaps they were the village idiot? Your backstory will give you a starting place to mold your character's stat attributes. Afterwards, you can apply an additional 10 hero points anywhere you wish. Note that 10 hero points in any stat is the baseline, where you won't see a positive or negative impact to the corresponding effect. If you only have 8 intelligence points, for example, falling short of the 10-point baseline means your spells will take longer to recharge. If later down the line you decide that you want to completely change up your look, voice, hero point stats or skill point distribution, you can do so. Just remember that your primary class choice is set in stone. All you need to do is simply visit one of the quick change stations that can be found dotting the world. These quick change stations also have options to set your in-game emotes and customize your Fatemaker's banner and statues, both of which you'll see changing in the environments around you. Over the course of your adventure, your collection of cosmetics is sure to grow as you conquer different types of enemies, so feel free to get in there and freshen up your armor patterns, banner, statues and emotes every so often. So if you'd like to experiment with all the possible class combinations and hot looks, it's your chance to take a character creation process from the top and enjoy the wonderful world of rolling outs. And yeah, this is pretty much some of the basic stuff about the character creation I wanted to share with you all. Now about the multi-class system. The multi-class system is something new to Tiny Tina's Wonderlands when we compare it to the Borderlands franchise. The best part of being the Fatemaker, besides all the chaotic fantasy adventure and general badassery, is harnessing the power of 2 mythical classes and becoming a truly hybridized hero, similar to games like Grim Dawn. To those of you who might have played it, this is what you could expect, or like Guild Wars 1. It's amazing to see such a system, and I'm a big fan of it, and the build diversity that comes from this would be very interesting. When your journey begins, you choose a starting class, wielding the strengths and abilities of a Berserker, Clawbringer, Graveborn, Spellshot, Spore Warden or Stabulmancer. I'll make one video dedicated to each of those classes as well, so keep that in mind for more information about their abilities and stuff. As you grow stronger, you gain access to the multi-class system and a new secondary class slot, opening up a world of unique character builds. Each class is defined by a class feat, 2 iconic action skills to choose between, and a skill tree loaded with passive abilities. Once unlocked, class feats are your always-on passive effects, including unique increases to damage output or having a trusty companion fighting by your side. Class feats are equally powerful, whether they belong to your primary or secondary class, with both having a huge impact on your playstyle and the stats effects you should prioritize. If you opt out for a multi-class combination of 2 companion classes, you have Clawbringer, Graveborn or Spore Warden. Both of your adorable attack-ready companions will always be fighting by your side. So whether it's Clawbringer Spore Warden, whether it's Clawbringer Graveborn or Graveborn Spore Warden, you have 3 possible combination of double minion builds. Of course, a Spore Warden Graveborn and Graveborn Spore Warden would have some sort of difference, most likely, being one is a main class and that probably decides the main look of the class and the hero, but yeah, it's probably gonna have the same effect in terms of that. Your chosen classes' action skills have the biggest impact on your moment-to-moment gameplay, with splashy effects that can instantly turn the tide of a battle and give you the upper hand. Action skills have a relatively short cooldown, letting you unleash their might multiple times during most fights, but not so short that you'll be spamming them constantly. You can only equip one action skill at a time, though you have a total of 4 to choose from between your 2 multi-class selections. Unless you decide to go for a weird build without selecting a multi-class or without putting points into a multi-class, which might work to a certain extent, but it's probably gonna be not as great as putting some points into a second class's passives. Each class's skill tree is where you get a comprehensive view of your progress and ever-increasing power over time. With each level you gain, you have an extra skill point to spend in either one of your trees, and you need to pick and choose carefully where to allocate them, as it's impossible to fill up every ability across both of your skill trees because, you know, balance. As you invest more points into a skill tree, you unlock more sections with stronger effects at your disposal as you further commit to a given class. If you decide that you want to rearrange your skill points, you can do so for a reasonable sum of in-game gold at any quick change station. Consider your primary and secondary class selections carefully, as they'll have a huge impact on the many ways your Fatemaker can stylishly vanquish evil. Once you've completed the main story campaign, you unlock the option to switch your secondary class should you choose, but your primary class is forever. If you want to wield the power of all possible multi-class combinations, get ready to roll some alternate characters. Keep in mind you can subscribe to my channel and hit the bell button to not miss out notifications for more Wooter and not so Wooter content like this one or others like builds and guides. There's also memberships on my channel, which is a monthly recurring payment that you can cancel at any time, which will grant you access to special perks like emotes or badges made by me, as well as the option to ask me one-on-one for tutorials on Discord about Photoshop, Premiere and After Effects, just the basics though. Thanks again for watching all the way until the end. Struck weapon. Till next time and goodbye.